Good evening. This is the World Sport Newscast. Today we will emphasize a very controversial issue and it is doping. One of the questions to be addressed is of influence that doping has on endurance sports. For this we have invited athletes together with their coach, accompanied by journalists, especially doctors and representatives of the AOC, who will give us a point of view. Let's start with the specialist doctor. Doctor, to put viewers in context, what is doping?
Good night, Christian. Doping is the use of substances outside the body. These are prohibited by WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency. These substances lead athletes to obtain better sports performance since they have certain physiological effects such as reducing muscle fatigue, accelerating the recovery process, increasing concentration, offering very significant benefits in treatment injuries, and on the other hand, it helps to rapid weight loss, which in endurance training is an important factor that could lead the athlete to obtain results in some competition.
Well, thank you very much for the explanation given about doping in sport. We'll continue with of the athletics and cycling together with a coach.
Drugs such as cocaine or heroin were available to everyone without a persecution until 1920. Statistics brought by the Movement for the Credibility of Cycling, which since 2014 has been monitoring the evolution of doping, determined that athletics was the sport with the most cases of use of prohibited substance reported in the first quarter of 2020.
Doping excess sporting values. It is a irresponsible practice and the danger since excessive use can cause in the athletes. I cannot use it for the purpose of stating out or hating of rivals, but is proven upon by the effects that it causes. Over a long times, this type of substances can generate inconvenience in the athlete in terms of the physical development and physical psychology.
Good evening, my name is Stephanie Sarmiento. I am cycling athlete. Thanks for invitation. It's a pleasure to me be here. In endurance sports, it has been shown that the method or substance that are most used in endurance sports is the famous blood doping, which are what? Also, with transfusions, this due to the fact that there are some limitation of oxygen in the muscle. From my point of view, doping has caused the true significance of the Olympic Games to become sustained due to the action that delegation is search of a gold medal and up the making the good name of the sport.
With the opinion guide by the athletic, it is clear to us the way in which doping affects free play and the mode of the International Olympics Committee and the Olympic Games. Now we will give the floor to a well-known journalist who has followed this issue for several years and who has done several investigations.
Good afternoon to all of our viewers. Thank you, Daniel, and everyone there in the studio. While reading the arduous issues within the investigation and follow-ups that is carried out, is important to emphasize that doping is an cause outside of fair play, without ethical of sporting principles or values. As for endurance sporting and their athletes, it can be said that doping has good physical consequences instantly, but in the long term, this can change, and the consequences that they did are not good for the physical state. In conclusion, one of the bad influences in the race sport is that of competition. Time of age athlete begins to decrease, and it will not be possible to stay in high performance. Thank you for attention.
With the journalist's arduous investigation, we know that corruption has greatly affected the Olympic Games and the injury of athletes. Finally, we will listen to representative of the IOC.
I am Francie, representative of the International Olympic Committee. Doping is a form of unfair competition and it loses its ideal of fair play, sitting taking advantage of other competitor who use doping do not know their true potential power in the competition and do not have clarity of your permanence again.
Well, thank you very much for your time to our guests on that. We hope that this issue of doping has a better control for future competition and for the competition to be fair and loyal. This was for that we said goodbye the studio of the podcast number one, see by the hard work. Good night.